I replaced 3 full-time employees with AI. And these aren't freelancers, they're not VAs, full-time salaried roles that no longer exist at my agency. And of course, this helps with margins. Now, before you call BS, let me be very specific about what I mean. I'm not talking about using ChatGPT to write some emails and calling it innovation. I'm talking about entire job functions, automated end to end, running 24/7 without a single person attached to them. A dedicated report writer, gone. A client comms manager, gone. A data analyst pulling numbers and making budget recommendations, also gone. And here's the part that nobody talks about. The quality of the work actually got better. Not the same, better, because AI doesn't forget. It doesn't have a bad Monday. It doesn't miss a Slack message because it was eating lunch. Let me show you exactly how we did it. For anyone new here, my name is Patrick. I run AdLab. We do Google and YouTube ads specifically for DTC e-commerce brands. We've managed over 150 million in spend by now, and we're doing a run rate of about 220,000 a month in revenue, while I personally work about 4 hours a day. And that last part about working 4 hours a day, that's not a flex, and that's the whole point of this. That's what happens when you build systems instead of hiring your way out of problems. And we know there's a talent issue out there. We run a performance-based model, percentage of ad spend tied to a ROAS. So if we don't perform, we don't get paid, which pretty much means every dollar we spend on operations comes directly off our margin. Every hire is a margin hit. Every inefficiency is money burned. That's why AI is no longer optional for us. It's the business model, especially with competitors trying to undercut the market. So what I notice is most agency owners at around 10 to 50K, what they're doing? They're hiring. Client needs a report, they hire someone for that. Clients aren't getting replies fast enough, they hire a comms manager or a CSM. Need someone to pull data and make sense of performance, they hire an analyst or a strategist. Every single one of these hires is $4,000 to $8,000 a month if you're getting someone good. So if you've got an agency doing 30K a month to deliver an A-class service, you're probably spending 20K in payroll. And your margins are what, 15, 20, maybe 30%? This is a pathetic way to scale an agency. And the worst part, if you're doing this now, it does not get better as you grow. Most agencies scale revenue and headcount at the exact same rate. So you go from 30K a month to 100K a month, and somehow you're still taking home the same amount, or similar. I've seen it 100 times and I've also lived it. I remember when we were at about 60K a month and I had 10, maybe 11 people on the team, and I was working more hours than when I started. I basically bought myself a stressful job. The agency was growing, but the business wasn't getting more profitable. Every new client means more people, more management layers, more overhead. But the old model is dead. Not dying, dead. Agencies that don't adapt to AI will get replaced by the ones that do. And it's already happening today. So there's actually a concept called SEAN, S-E-A-N. Software-enabled agency. A guy named Taylor Holiday actually coined this, and the thesis is very simple. The next wave of massive exits, I'm talking 9-figure acquisitions, they won't be pure SaaS companies, and they won't be traditional agencies either. They'll be the ones in between, an agency that builds its own software layer, proprietary tools, custom automations, AI workflows that replace headcount and improve quality at the same time. So think about it, a SaaS company has great margins, we all know, but there's no deep client relationship there and no loyalty. An agency, on the other hand, has deep client relationships, but terrible margins and is hard to grow. A SEAN is both high-touch service delivered through software with SaaS level margins. That's exactly what we're trying to build here at AdLab. And I want to show you the exact stack that we're running today, not theory, the actual tools, the actual workflows, and the actual results we're getting. All right, let me walk you through everything. I'm going to show you every tool, show you what we replaced, and show you exactly what it saved us. First and foremost, reporting. This is where most agencies waste an absurd amount of time. We built something called the Insight Engine, and it lives on a specialized domain. It's a full AI-powered report generation tool. It pulls directly from the Google Ads API, runs the data through Claude, and generates a client-ready performance report. A shareable link, editable before you send it, so one person can quickly do a glance and approve it. Very professional. This replaced a dedicated report writer, one full-time role gone. But if you don't have a dedicated report writer, you might have a CSM doing it, taking up maybe half their week, or if not a third of their week. This could also save them. The reports are more consistent, they're more detailed, and they actually go out on time every single week. No more chasing, sorry, I'll get it to you tomorrow, I was sick. It just runs. On top of that, we've got automated weekly performance reporting reports that post directly into the client's Slack channel at the end of the week. So we're giving multiple touch points now, and it's not taking us any more time than before. We've also got a weekly AI budget recommendation engine. This one is pretty massive. The AI reviews every campaign's actual ROAS against the target ROAS and outputs specific budget increases or decreases in suggested campaigns, with actual reasoning too, not just adhering to it. So this is what a junior media buyer or junior specialist would be doing. Now it's zero time. So the people running the accounts can spend all their time doing actual strategy, what moves the needle. And for quick data pools, we built a Google Ads MLQ bot. It sits inside Slack. So you type in something like, what were the total clicks for X client the last 7 days? In plain English. So this has actually got rid of a lot of the day-to-day questions. The bot can handle it. So this is actually one of my favorite ones because bad client communication is the #1 reason agencies lose accounts. Not bad performance, but bad comms. So we built a client comms accountability bot. It manages every Slack client channel. If a client sends a message and it goes unanswered past a set threshold, it fires an alert to the team. If it still doesn't get handled, it escalates to their manager. Non-negotiable. No client messages get lost ever. It can also tell us if a message wasn't replied to and it gets missed in a thread. I'm sure you've seen it before. A client might ask 3 questions. The team just responds to 1 or 2. And what about that third? It gets lost, but not anymore. On top of that, we have sentiment monitoring. If the AI detects an unhappy client message, it flags it immediately. So we're doing all this to prevent churn. It's always cheaper to keep a client than try to get new ones. Someone's entire job before was making sure clients were being responded to. Now this system handles literally everything in regards to that. Now the system handles the monitoring and the humans handle the actual conversations. And that's the key distinction. We're buying back time. AI isn't replacing the actual high-level thinking, it's replacing the repetitive work. So my team can do their job properly. We also run a daily channel summary. End of the day, the AI gathers every message from every monitored channel and outputs an overview. So I can scan 30 client accounts in 2 minutes. I know exactly what happened today without reading 200 Slack messages. This is probably one of my favorites. Okay, so let's talk about the sales side now. So we've got a full pipeline that runs itself. Someone books a call through Calendly that triggers an N8N workflow. It gets the lead details, converts the time zone, and fires an outreach sequence through instantly, automatically. The base template of the emails that we're sending them are done through Claude, and Claude will actually have little segments where they're going to change depending on what the client's needs or what they want. It makes it seem a little bit more tailored. Another one is we use Apollo for lead sourcing, and you can connect that to instantly to do your cold email marketing and actually hit the proper people. We connect Fireflies to our sales calls so every meeting gets recorded. The transcript goes through GPT, which classifies the outcome as won, lost, or follow up, and it actually auto logs it into HubSpot. So no manual CRM entry anymore. No, I forgot to update the deal stage. It just happens. And based on that, AI will tell us when we need to outreach again or what actual steps we need to do to get the deal done. The math on this is insane because now in the whole sales department, there's literally 0 minutes on admin, and I mean 0. So every time that was given to that sales process is now going into actual selling, not all the admin, the annoying admin that used to happen. Another thing is we're running a Beehiiv newsletter with AI assisted content tied to a metapixel for retargeting. So our content engine feeds into our paid acquisition. This loop is really, really important. We call it the GTM, so go to market strategy. It's when you're doing cold acquisition, you're not just doing one thing, it's a nurturing loop. And it's very important, and it's how you acquire customers at a much cheaper price. Operations is where it all comes together. We've got a lot running on N8N, self-hosted on Hostinger, VPS through Coolify. The whole AI layer, every workflow I just described runs through this. For models, we use OpenRouter as a switching layer, so we can route between GPT, Gemini, and Claude, depending on the task, without rebuilding anything. I'd say Claude has been a lot better than GPT for the complex stuff, and honestly, that's just how it is. We've got an end of day log dashboard, which feeds into a management dashboard in real time. So we can see exactly what each staff member did, what they were focused on, where they need help, and any anomalies. AI helps. We also know what they were spending time on. So if performance has been lacking in their department, we can say, hey, you were spending too much time on this and not enough time on that. We also built a media buying gamification app. So it composites performance scores, leaderboards, and an admin view. It turns media buying into a game. My media buyers actually compete with each other, and the quality of the work went up because of it. They can actually see how they're doing player versus player. Once again, this is a live website that the whole team can see with this security layer so outside people cannot get in. We're building landing pages right now with Manus and Claude. Content creation gets done with Canva AI, but honestly, some of these other LLM models are getting even better than Canva. All right, so what actually changed here? 3 full-time roles eliminated. Not people fired, by the way, roles that we never had to hire again as we scaled. That's the difference. We grew the client base without growing the headcount at the same time, something that we were never able to do before. So margins went up, client satisfaction went up, reports are more consistent, report times are faster, data is more accurate, nothing falls through the cracks, and I can work less hours because the system runs whether I'm there or not. The thing is, boring is what scales. Boring automations, boring workflows, boring weekly reports that go out at the same time every week without anyone touching them. Boring, my friends, is exactly how you build a business that doesn't need you. All right, but we're not done yet. We've also got PandaDoc contract automation in place. Basically, a client will sign a contract, AI extracts the details, auto creates the Slack channel, sets up a ClickUp folder. The full onboarding is triggered by the signature. There's some niche media buying workflows we have too. For example, negative keyword monitoring, 0 impression alerts, inactivity detection, pretty much a campaign performance guardian that watches all of our accounts 24/7 and fires alerts when something happens. This just takes away the need for someone having to constantly look over accounts and just focus on things that move the needle and make more money. The agencies that are gonna win, they systemize everything and then they automate the systems. That is the playbook. But luckily for you guys, I'm the one waking up in the middle of the night wondering how AI is going to impact the agency game today. So I'm constantly learning and I'm gonna feed this information back to you guys because this is the whole game. Build the machine, let the machine run, and go live your life. I'll see you on the next video.